So many people are living their life a lie and they don't even realize it. So today, I'm going to share with you some of the biggest truths I've learned about my life and some of the lies that I've been told that don't really hold a candle to the end of the day. People will project onto you the things that they cannot do. People want to do that because they've either tried or they've been told that they're not able to do it, so they see it as a failure. And it's honestly out of kindness that they're trying to tell you to not do this thing because they don't want you to feel the failure that they have went through. But keep in mind, that is them projecting. When people say you shouldn't do or can't do something, they're not necessarily assessing you on what you can or cannot do. They're basing it off of themselves and what they were incapable of doing. So don't allow people's projection of you determine who you are, then determine what you're capable of doing, because you are capable of a lot more. Now that leads on to my next thing. I have learned a lot of my limits, but it's only through pushing myself extremely hard did I ever find those limits. And the thing about limits is great is you can actually learn to push them a little bit further. You know, it's just like building muscle. At first, you're not able to lift this weight. But until you train and you keep training that your body starts to adapt, it starts to learn, okay, this is heavy, we need to build more muscle. So therefore, once your muscle fiber tears, rebuilding that a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger. So now, before you couldn't lift the weight, now you're able to because your body has adapted. So you reached a limit and now you went over that limit. But you didn't shoot so far that it's so insanely destructive. You're not limitless, but so few of you have ever truly reached your limits, so you don't even really know what you're truly capable of. Question the things that you were taught and really ask yourself, what is going on here? Is this just systematic brainwashing that we have done, or is it because it actually truly is beneficial, and does it actually make sense in terms of taking my life and moving it further? That's really, really important in the grand scheme of things, because once you learn to have clarity in your thought, you're able to make better decisions. You're not on autopilot anymore. And that's the way you do it, is to not get on autopilot. You got to go out and venture and experience and learn and understand and have an open mind about things. And it's so important to your personal growth and development. My entire life, I had determined that success is predicated on how much money you earn. I have met many people who are multi-millionaires who have everything you could ever imagine, and they spend all their time escaping from themselves. They use alcohol and drugs. They're just constantly trying to escape. And I think that that's a terrible and miserable way to live. And the fact that you strive to achieve all these things, and at the end of the road, you hate yourself because the horrible things you've done to people to get there. Myself, I value my sleep. So the thing is, my sleep is so important to me that the last thing I want to do is go to bed tossing and turning because I've wronged people. I've wronged people. You know, I'm not saying that I'm a good guy, and I think that that's too broad of a subject to say. I'm just saying that I've learned that the quality of my life is to never go out of my way to make life worse for somebody else. That's the way that I live my life. What are you projecting into the world? So, are you shouting at the world and think that the world owes you for the injustice that you received? Or are you going out there and making a difference by fixing the problems that are in your own life and trying to become a better person and trying so hard to make sure that the trauma that you have faced is no longer becoming somebody else's trauma? We live in a world where it just seems so, it's almost like trauma badging. Like everybody just wants to trauma badge onto you, like, oh, I went through this and that. And that trauma badging doesn't make you strong. It makes you weak. It makes you still trapped. And I hate to break this to you. Every single person has trauma. There's nobody that lives this life free from trauma. And to you to live your life to think that everyone around you should care about the trauma that you went through while also caring about their own trauma, that's a really tough pill to swallow. So understand that your trauma is your business and that you need to handle that. And if you want to live a great life, you need to address these problems, because I have this truest belief, if you're bleeding and you go out into the world, and you try to get into a relationship, and you tend to bleed onto other people. And that is a really, really rough way to live life. I believe that there is equality in the sense I think that we have the means to provide to people equal opportunities. But just because everybody says equal opportunity to start their own business doesn't mean that everybody's going to be successful at it. Just because everybody has equal opportunity to go to medical school and to work at the best hospitals or whatever doesn't mean that everyone makes it there. That's a part of life, is that you have to push through these challenges. It's not fair. It's never going to be fair. And if you place your mind that everything has to be fair, the world is going to be such an injustice. It's going to feel like it's always an injustice to you because it's never fair, because guess what? It never was meant to be fair. That doesn't mean go out of your way, live your life, and be unfair to people. No, because you know what's the magic of that? Is once you get to a certain place within yourself, you can choose to start being fair. It's so important to understand that the world doesn't owe you anything, and that it sometimes is just going to kick you in the teeth, and there's the only tool that you have to be able to handle that is whatever tools that you built in here. When you spend so much of your life expecting people to do something and not getting your expectations, you're just setting yourself up for failure, and you're setting yourself up for disappointment. If anything, expect from yourself what the world can't provide. And if you go your life doing that, I guarantee you're going to make the biggest difference. If you don't think the world has enough love, provide more love. If the world doesn't have whatever you believe that the world doesn't have, rather than sitting there with your hands in your pocket, go out there and provide what the world needs. I hope you enjoyed this message. If you do, please like, comment, and subscribe. My ultimate goal is to help people get out of their own way and to become the person that they would be proud of and that they no longer ever want to escape from. Until next time, see you later.